Hey, yo, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. We got a special guest in the building today. Before we get started,
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
yo, I don't know if y'all heard, but man, me and Chris, we going on a podcast training camp tour. And the first stop is in the H. So, of course, we had to pull up on my man, Bruce Williams. Before we get into that, I just wanted to say, welcome to the Terror Dome. You were the best podcasters in the world. And because we're in Houston today, right? It's slow, loud, and bang all in our trunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for being here. I know you're on a time crunch. You know what I'm saying? We totally respect that because I'm on the same thing.
Can't
we
relate.
appreciate your time. Yeah, Chris, he's not there yet. But anyways, man, thank you for pulling up, man. So I did my research on you. We gonna get into this later, but man, you got bars.
Okay, I appreciate that. That was a while ago. That was a long time ago. And I gotta be honest with you, some of the old shit I listened to, and I'm just like, that's whack. I'm even better as I get older, in my humble opinion. But these days, I don't do it like that anymore. So I don't even have the time to do it. But I appreciate that. Thank you for doing the research.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We gonna talk about that. I want to hear some of the newer stuff. I'll get at you later about that.
Okay.
I want to get into this first let's talk about the Rockets.
Okay.
So first of all, I love watching Alperen Sengun play basketball. Like, he's just a joy to watch. He's up for a contract extension, much like Trey Murphy is. What do you think is the holdup on both of those guys' extension?
So I can't speak to it for the Pelicans in terms of the holdup because I don't know the Pelicans cap situation.
Sure.
So I don't know, what the flexibility or the gymnastics of that are. We could talk about Trey Murphy later. I do feel like Trey Murphy should be more prominent in what the Pels do. But with Sengun, there was a report today actually from Jonathan Fagan of the Houston Chronicle that the two sides, the Rockets and Sengun, might be close to an extension. Sengun was asked about it at Media Day yesterday, and he said that he wants to stay here, and they've been negotiating. So in terms of the holdup, the Rockets GM, he's really shrewd when it comes to the contracts. Obviously, you see some of these crazy numbers that these players get. I mean, Sengun's put up the numbers to deserve that type of max deal and that type of money. But I think that both sides just want to make sure that the deal makes sense. I think it's going to happen, though. I think Sengun will get his extension. I think the bigger question, honestly, is will Jalen Green get his extension?
Oh, we getting there. We walking down that road too. Chris, you got anything for a week?
Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me find it here. I got a couple screenshots from my early, I guess, memories of seeing some of your work and seeing you on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
I know what you're talking
about. And hold on. What a tweet at?
Go, just go for it. It's all, I'm okay. We're okay with that.
Do you remember this?
Oh my God, we're gonna go with the Herb Jones. Okay, I do remember this. I do.
And do you remember? do you remember the time of dealing with Pelicans fans and faithful?
Yes,
I think I was a part of this bunch.
You may have been. Yes, I remember because Kevin
was.
O'Connor was the whole thing was they were putting Herb Jones on the all rookie first team over Jalen Green. This is talking about, right? Yeah. I was maybe being a little inflammatory, but I had to hold it down for the Rockets. So I had to do what I had to do at that time.
How many people did you block that day?
Probably, I would guess like maybe 30, 40, 50 if I had to guess.
Okay, and now I'm gonna end this with that's fantastic. I probably got 4 or 5 people in total. They guys that are able to block people in volume, like high volume, like profile blockers. I support y'all.
So I used to never do that, by the way. I used to never do that, but when you get more followers and you get like tweets like that go viral, and then you just get like the wow, because what people do is they use your tweets to boost their own shit. And so I block to prevent people from using me to boost themselves. That's the reason. And because I know I'll respond and say some crazy shit. So I'm just like, let me just block them and just never think about it again.
Let me bring it back full circle to basketball, right?
Okay.
Since then, that was 2022. That was the rookie years of those gentlemen. what has changed? How is your opinion, not in comparing those two, but how has your opinions on those two from a basketball perspective changed for better or for worse?
So, I mean, look, I think Herb Jones kind of is what he was, right? He was a defensive stopper. He's not great offensively. You guys probably wish he was a better three-point shooter, if I had to imagine, right? He's a really good glue piece, really good glue guy. Not the same style of play, but the same maybe function as a guy like Tari Eason for the Rockets, right? He can lock anybody up. I mean, crazy wingspan, great defensive instincts. Probably not going to be a star. I think Tari Eason might have a higher ceiling, but he's the kind of guy that plays winning basketball, right? As far as Jalen Green goes, he has been inconsistent, right? Like when I watched him as a rookie, I was like, oh, I see it. You know, once he turns the corner, it's going to happen. Then he kind of just continued to be more of the same player. But last March, this March, like this past season, he really hit that next level. And y'all probably saw that, right? He hit that next level where it was like, oh, okay, if that is the guy we're going to get, or if we're going to get some version of that guy, perfect. That's who I wanted when we drafted him, right? So Jalen Green, I guess I would say Herb Jones has been very consistent, but much lower ceiling. Glue guy, winning player. Championship teams would love to have a Herb Jones on them. Jalen Green has been more up and down, more rocky, more inconsistent. But if he's finally able to really find it, then he's going to be one of the best scorers in the NBA, maybe one of the best players in the NBA. If.
Okay.
It's funny you literally brought that part up because that was like what I wanted to go into. Jalen seemed like for a lot of last year, he was the odd man out in a situation. Like it seemed like at some point they were going to move on from him.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about him hitting his stride. What was it? Like what changed in his game?
I mean, it's weird. It was like, so Şengün went down, right? And a lot of Rockets fans were like, oh, Şengün's out. Now Jalen's taking over. They can't play together. I don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of evidence of them playing together and like playing a two-man game. You know, they like Jalen would run a lot of pick and roll. Şengün is a great passer, hit Jalen off cuts. Like they had some synergy there. I think there was a confidence aspect of it. Honestly, I think he just kind of got fed up with the noise, right? Like, and he just said, fuck it, and just stopped thinking and started playing. You know, watching him when he was younger, he's super athletic, obviously. He had trouble finding his rhythm, right? Like he would just drive straight line, no change of pace, no change of direction, no deceleration, no real bag, really. You know, he just kind of like went straight line. Last March, he started figuring out like, yo, I can change pace. I can change direction. I can stop on a dime, bring it back, and then boom, come right back and you know, go to the basket. He was just playing in a rhythm, and he felt like I made the comparison in a video that I posted the other day. Felt like a Pokemon evolving, like finally realizing, like, oh shit, this is how I'm supposed to do it, and it just like happened, right? Like all the gifts that he had, he finally figured out how to put it all together. He also was shooting really well. I think one of the biggest issues with him is he's not a good shooter, and it's just hard because when you're not a good shooter, people are just going to sag off of you. And for someone like him, if you just sag off of him and he shoots, it's tough, right? But in March, the shot was falling. The Rockets were playing faster. That had something to do with it as well. So I'm really skeptical. It's like a total coin flip. I have no idea what version we're going to get, but I think in my gut, he's just more physically and mentally mature, and it took him a little while. And then also he had the I forget her name, Drya. Is it Drya?
Yeah,
Drya.
You know, I could see like maybe a young kid, he got her pregnant. Maybe he was just like stressed and, you know, and then finally that news became public and like he just kind of like vented and let it all out. I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Gotta do it. Either way, it's a win. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No. So this was actually from one of our network pillars. I'll call him. Cheddar Chaz had a question. He's been a fan of Jabari Smith for a little bit. He's been one of those individuals that, as we've been talks about Şengün, as it's been talks about Jalen Green, like what happens next with him in regards to him taking the next step. Jabari Smith. How those three can fit together, and are they able to thrive together? His question was, do you think that the Rockets will be able, if they go ahead and finish this deal with Şengün, are they going to be able to retain Jabari and Jalen Green? And who do you see them moving?
Okay. Out of those three, who's moving, or just in general?
I think this was more so a Jabari and a Jalen Green question, with assuming that Sengun will be there, they get a deal done, and then I guess the next step is figuring out if you're gonna have a big three between Jabari and between Jalen, or if there has to be one that needs to go long term.
So I think they really complement each other, like basketball wise. One issue is Şengün might need someone a little bit bigger, or at least someone that can get like more vertical than Jabari at the 5 for things to really, really work, or at the 4, I guess, next to him. But maybe not. Jabari, continues to get a little bit older, a little bit more stronger, just like Jalen, more physically and mentally mature. One thing with Jabari is he can't jump. And he's 6'11", but like he doesn't play like a big, he doesn't play big and physical. However, he hits the boards. He can shoot. Last season, rookie season, he couldn't shoot at all. Last season, I think he shot 35, 36% from 3. Hopefully he can end up shooting kind of in the higher 30s, at least 38, 39, but we'll see. But they're complementary, right? Because Jabari, I just don't think Jabari is going to be like a star offensive player. I think he's a complementary player, and in that role, it works, right? You have Jalen, obviously the perimeter scorer, Alperen Şengün. You can run offense through him. You can post him up. Jabari spreads the floor. Also, last season, he started cutting baseline on the weak side for Şengün, and they had some synergy there. One thing is that with Jalen as your wing defender, if you're going to put Şengün up high, hedging on screens, and you got Jalen on the perimeter, that leaves your backside vulnerable. Is Jabari Smith a good enough defender in the paint specifically for that shit to work? Maybe, maybe not. It was working last season, but then the refs started calling games a little bit tighter. They took the physicality away from the Rockets, and then that kind of, caused some issues. So that's one of the big questions. But I think they fit from a basketball perspective. If you had to move one, I'm just talking like if I had to pick one of them to move, that's hard because, look, Şengün, if you trade Şengün, you're going to get probably a big haul, right? He's got the most value. So like, would I want to trade Şengün? No. But if we're talking strategy, you're thinking, all right, who's going to give me the most value in a trade? Jabari would probably get you the least value depending on Jalen. But honestly, man, I just want to see the core grow. Like, I think what Houston has put together, at first I was really skeptical about it, but now it feels like they got guys that complement each other and that like all the pieces fit, right? It's not like for example, if they had drafted Banchero instead of Jabari Smith, they couldn't. He went first overall. But let's say they had Paolo Banchero next to Şengün, next to Jabari. That doesn't work, right? Şengün needs the ball. Paolo Banchero needs the ball. Jabari Smith is then out of place because he's not a 3. So someone's got only 2 of those 3 guys can play the 5 and the 4, right? So at that point, you're talking, okay, someone's got to go. But with those 3 guys, because they all play different positions and because their styles blend in with one another, right? Like I said, you can put Jalen on the ball. You can put Şengün on the ball. You can put Jabari off the ball. You can move Jabari off screens. You can move Jabari off, like, I don't know, whatever, run like a pin down for him. And, you can do whatever you want, right? So I think it works from that perspective.
So, and Lito, right after, why does it on my mind since we talking about those 3? Because I think I view them in some ways similar to some of the issues that the Pelicans have had, and then in some ways I can't say it's fair because of course I watch more Pelicans games than I do Rockets games, but I'm curious when it comes to a pecking order, right? Because you mentioned when we saw Jalen Green hit another level, it felt like last year it started with Şengün being out, right? And then when we saw Şengün dominate earlier in the year, Jalen Green was taking more of a back seat. You had just brought in Van Vliet. Like, there was some things still working, and Jabari was around, right? It just was everybody was trying to figure out how this would work. New coach, new system, so on and so forth. What do you think ultimately the pecking order should be if those 3 are going to thrive together with how, I guess, I'm curious, like, you could argue that both Şengün and Jalen Green are offensive ecosystems.
Yeah.
Well,
yes and no. We can talk about it, but yes and no.
Yeah.
So I would say,
pecking order be?
I would say it just depends on how you want to run the offense, right? With Şengün, you get somebody who can score and create, right? And not like create in the traditional sense of like LeBron going off the dribble or James Harden the way he used to do it in Houston or whatever, but create in the sense that you post Şengün up or you put him at the high post, he's going to draw extra defenders. He's going to draw extra attention. And now by virtue of the extra attention, space has been created. The thing is, the other players got to figure out how to fill that space. And that was kind of the issue with Jalen. He was wide ass open. He was wide open much of the year. He just couldn't shoot. That was a problem. At one point, he was shooting like 29% from three. Towards the end of games, he would get benched for Aaron Holiday. and it was working because all Aaron Holiday, he was just making the threes, right? He was wide ass open. He would just make a couple threes, and it was like, boom, there's your offense. When Şengün went out, the floor spread. And then Jalen was able to just kind of do what he wanted, and it started working. It previously in Houston that had not worked, but it started working. So it's like, which one do you pick? I'm inclined to pick Şengün because you got to teach Jalen Green how to use his athletic ability to take advantage of the extra space created by Alperen Şengün. And at some point, for him to be successful, Jalen Green, he's got to be a good shooter or a decent shooter, right? Like a league average, 35% from three, 36% from three. I don't think that's too much to ask from a shooting guard who's supposed to be a star shooting guard, right? So I think you go inside out, old school style, right? Şengün's a hub, post him up one-on-one, it's a bucket or a foul. Draw the double team, Amen Thompson cuts, Tari Eason cuts, Jabari, like I said, cutting weak side baseline to the basket. Jalen Green cut down the middle. Run a two-man game, Jalen Green pick and roll. If they step up on Jalen, wrap around past to Şengün. I mean, there's just so many options if they put it all together like that. One thing is Jalen wants to play fast. And I mean, I think that's fine too, but I think he's also got to learn how to become proficient in a half court offense. Cause when it comes to the playoffs, you got to learn how to slow down, run in the half court. Pecking order. If it was up to me, I would go Şengün, Jalen, Jabari. I think Jabari's number 3, no matter what. I think that's the best way just because Şengün's a better passer. He's better at finding teammates. And like you want Jalen Green to be that scorer, right? Like I would love Jalen Green dropping like 23, 4 dimes, 4 rebounds, right? And then Şengün with like 21, 10 boards, like 5 dimes, something like that. By the way, I now understand why your Twitter says not DeMarcus Cousins. I get it now. Yeah, I didn't get that at first. Now I get it.
Damn it, man.
It only took 18 minutes for it.
I noticed it earlier, but I didn't want to cut y'all off. But I was like, yeah.
I'm never beating the allegations. It's crazy. All right, look, man, there's 45 people in here right now. We got a little bit of time left. Get in here, ask your questions, and while you're here, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification.
Oh shit! I just clicked the comments bar. Okay, now I can see your questions. I apologize in advance. I was not looking at previously.
No, you good. You good. No. We go get to them. I was trying to say them last anyway. I was starring the good ones. So I got a question, man. It's more of a statement, but I'm a huge fan of Jabari. I think Jabari will find his place in the NBA. Like he'll find his footing as a center. Like I truly believe like that is what he's destined to be as he gets stronger, as he gets more confident. The Rockets have a surplus of bigs. I don't know if you know, but the Pelicans, we kind of need a starting center. Would you, as a Rockets fan, be interested in a Jabari for Brandon Ingram swap?
So no, respectfully. I'm sorry to say, I know that the Pelicans seem to. All the intel that I hear is that the Pelicans, like the organization, is really interested in Jabari Smith. Brandon Ingram, look. When he's on, it's really pretty, right? He's got that. It's kind of like nostalgic. It's that old school mid-range, just like super hooper type stuff. Love it. But he can't spread the floor. When he's off, it's just like, what else is he giving you? And then he's always hurt, right? I think with the Rockets, specifically with the Rockets, they need shooting. They need 3-point shooting. That was a weakness we had. Dylan Brooks is the starting 3. Dylan Brooks can't really shoot. Amen Thompson can't shoot. Tari Eason, shoot like 35, 34%. He can't really shoot. We already talked about Jalen Green. Şengün can't really shoot. They drafted Reed Shepherd. He can shoot. We'll see if he plays. Aaron Holiday, like he was our best shooter last season, so that should tell you what that is. Fred VanVleet can shoot. You know what I mean? But we need like legitimate shooters. Brandon Ingram doesn't do that for me. And then on the price tag with the injury risk, couldn't do it. I will say with the Pelicans, I was arguing with some Pelicans fan on Twitter a while ago after y'all signed Daniel Tice. I was like, yo, Daniel Tice is not the answer. I saw some Pelicans fans saying like, "Oh, we got Daniel Tice. Like, cool, we're good." Daniel Tice was a Houston Rocket. He is a role player. He's 6'8". I don't think people understand that Daniel Tice is 6'8". I think they think he's like 6'11". He is 6'8". All right. He might catch a lob, maybe, but like don't count on it. He can't shoot. He's a decent role player. I was gonna say this, man. And I don't know what you guys think about it. I don't understand why y'all don't go small and start Trey Murphy, right? Like CJ, DeJounte Murray. You know what I'm saying? Like Zion at the big.
Pod now. Yeah, go ahead.
We pod now. We finally fucking let's go.
Zion at the big. Trey Murphy is your 4. Ingram at the 3, and then DeJounte and CJ. Like, why does that not? You know.
Well, Roos. What about how are we gonna rebound the basketball? How are we gonna guard Jokic? How are we gonna stay? How is Zion gonna stay out of foul trouble? What are we gonna do when we have to play Joel Embiid and Şengün?
Hey,
what are we gonna do?
Did anyone
Zach Edey?
Did y'all think that Alperen Şengün was gonna be a center? That man is like 6'9", 6'10". Like he's not really a center. Like, and we took it to the Sixers and beat Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? I just think if you have the talent and you have the unique skills, you dictate what happens. Now, it might not work all the time, but it's definitely worth trying, right? Especially because Trey Murphy is 6'10". He's a legit 6'10", and he's got long arms, and he can get above the rim. Brandon Ingram's what? Ingram's 6'10", right?
Yeah, 6'9".
So, like,
6'10".
yeah, so y'all have the height and the length. You might not have the beef, like the size. You have Zion, of course, but you have the height and the length, and those guys can switch on the perimeter to where it makes it y'all are versatile, right? And then you have enough shooting. DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy. I think that gives you enough shooting to be able to kind of dictate those matchups. Ingram's your mix-up guy in the middle from the mid-range. And then obviously Zion is Zion, right? So I just feel like Zion allows you to do that because he's so nimble off the dribble. And he can obviously, what is he, 6'6", 6'7"? I don't know how tall he is, but he's not the disrespectful. Oh, Brock is better than the Pels. That's funny. But anyways, I just thought like that would be the no-brainer, right? Instead of, I looked at the depth chart and it was what's the dude out of, is it Baylor? Missy, what's the name? I forgot the name.
He's Missy.
Yeah, he's Missy,
right? And then Daniel Tice is listed as the backup. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. Look, just lean into it. That's what I would do.
You're preaching to the choir, but I have guys, I have people up here like not DeMarcus Cousins who are more focused on rebounding and post defense. They don't care about anything else. They're worried about post defense and rebounding like it's 1996. That's what they're worried about. And I'm just like, fuck it. Go with Bloom where you were planted. This is the roster. This the roster that was given. This is what we got to do. And then you have versatility, right? Like you can mix and match. You can take one of those. I see someone saying CJ can't be in that lineup. CJ is defensively a liability to me. And that's what I was going to say. You could pull CJ and go with Herb. And then CJ's your sixth man. Now you lose some shooting, but defensively, I mean, you have length, you have switchability. I just think one thing I like to do, people make fun of me for this, and I really don't care, but I like to talk about pickup basketball, right? Because we're all just average guy, or I don't know. I'm assuming you got your average guys. Maybe you're not. I'm an average dude, right? So I just talk about hooping. And like you take those principles and then you extrapolate it to the highest level of basketball in the world. And imagine if I was a fucking NBA athlete, like what would this look like, right? We were talking about Lito. We were talking about my rec league.
Yeah,
we're a small team, and I'm in a league where like you're supposed to draft like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" type dudes, right? Back-to-back champs. Why? Because we spread that shit out. We play the numbers. We shoot threes, and we bank on teams not mathing up and then not being able to finish on a consistent enough basis, and it works. Like I'm 5'11". I'll guard some 6'4" dude, right? Like now in the NBA, yes, it'll be Jokic or it'll be Embiid, but there's only like 3 or 4 of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other teams don't really have that, right? So I think it's worth the gamble if you trust your star players to really be able to score as prolific scorers. You know what I mean? It's especially, again, you have Zion. Like you got to lean into that. If you try to fit the mold of the NBA, when you have a guy that's like not a normal NBA build, what's the fucking point? That's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like teams are gonna be like, oh shit, man, we're worried now. Daniel Tice is in the starting lineup. We gotta prepare for 20 minutes of Daniel Tice. Respectfully, Like, I mean, like Tyson gonna have some good games. Like, serviceable big. He's gonna do some, he sets good screens. He'll knock down an occasional three. Great, awesome. But when you have 7 players that could be starters for multiple teams around the league, and at least three that would start on pretty much any team. Like, this is the corner that the Pelicans, the front office has painted them in, and I just would rather.
Let me ask you this: you had Jonas Valanciunas. That's a big boy.
Oh,
he's
we
not,
pod.
Yeah, go ahead, Lito. Yeah,
he's not great, right? But he's a big boy. Did that help you against the Zion or the Embiids and the whatevers of the world? No, it did not, right? Like,
but here's the thing with that: it's not going to help you if you give him 15 minutes in the game and he doesn't start after halftime. It's no way that should be like if you haven't watched the Pels, what happened last year is Jonas would play. I see your comment game. Jonas would start the game, right? What happens is we go small with Larry Nance, so we couldn't rebound anyway. And if you look at what Jonas was a top 10 defensive. They called him a Basketball Reference said he was a top 10 defensive rim protector in the NBA, right? But he's not on the floor. So what does it matter?
Look, I'm glad we got Russo up here because I remember a game in New Orleans, and I do want to talk Rockets Pelicans at some point here.
Jonas Valanciunas kicked the shit out of us specifically. I remember that.
Right, but there was one game in New Orleans where it was, I forget which one it was, but it was earlier in the season, or it may have been around December, in which the Rockets ended up winning.
Are they calling me Ronnie 2K in the chat? Is that what that means?
They are. I don't know, but that's funny. That's funny.
That's crazy.
But it got to a point to where Şengün was catching the ball on the block from like 7 minutes. The ball was going through him, and the Pelicans had no options. I saw Jonas guard Şengün. I saw Larry Nance go out there. In fact, they closed with Jeremiah Robinson Earl because they had no options. Like, it didn't matter. So if that's where it's going to end anyway for matchups like that, you might as well put your best 5 out there and just say, you know what, we're going to worry about things that we do well.
Was that the play-in game? I think that was the play-in.
No. This game was in New Orleans. The play-in game was in Houston, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, look, my thought on it is, I view rim protection is a big topic when it comes to the Rockets, right? Because Şengün is not viewed as a rim protector, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got to get a rim protector." My view on rim protection is the Warriors' approach, right?
Yeah.
The best way to stop people from getting to the rim is by picking them up and guarding them on the perimeter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have some big 7-footer just stand. You can go Gobert style. You can have a shot blocker and whatever, and that works. You need one of those. We picked up Steven Adams, right? Steven Adams used to be a Pelican. We have Steven Adams. We need that like matchup play, right? If we need him, we use him. Great. But the Rockets were a top 10 defense last season with Şengün as their center, and they finished top 10 even when Şengün went down, and they didn't really have anyone on the roster to play center for real other than Jock Landale, right? And how'd they do it? Because they were switchable. They had good perimeter defenders. Dylan Brooks, Amen Thompson, Fred VanVleet, believe it or not. Very stout, moves his feet. Like, you just stay in, you can switch, you pick up whoever's in front of you, and you keep it moving, right? And you deny rim pressure, you deny drives to the basket. Like that, in my opinion, in today's NBA, I think that's one of the best ways to do it, Now, look.
That's exactly what Herb Jones said.
Is it? Okay. If there's someone out there that you can get, like, yeah, go get it. I just feel like that's the Zion conundrum, right? Like, Zion with the center, I think is tough. You know what I mean? I think if you spread it out, he becomes the weapon for real that he can be. Because now you got to have a center guarding him in space that he don't want to guard him in. And obviously that's to Zion's advantage, So that's just kind of how I view it. But I don't know. I do think the biggest issue, honestly, it doesn't happen too often, or just I don't hear this discussion too often. CJ.
Oh.
CJ's a good player. But he's like on that third tier of player, you know what I mean? Respectfully, of course. I'm sorry to say. He lights us up. He's one of those players that it's like, oh, great, CJ is having a fucking game of the season against us. But in the long haul, 82 games, it's like CJ with the defense. I don't know. I feel like you have to upgrade that position. If I was y'all, I'd be focused on upgrading that position over the search for a center.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know anything about the Pels though, so I don't know.
No, go ahead, Chris.
I mean, I kind of agree because I think especially with which I do want to talk. We got a question up here that would start. Well, it's more of a statement, but it's Udoka versus Willie Green was pretty much the question. But yeah, I think that yes, the team could use a center, but it's not like they're asking, or I think even the fan base is asking for a large name, a huge name. I think while some could see, we've heard Miles Turner, we've heard Jared Allen, names of that sort. Somebody who can with adequate height and
what would you trade for Jared Allen?
I mean, Brandon Ingram was the one that was attached for the most part, and then last year at the trade deadline, it was a similar deal that the Pelicans ended up getting DeJounte for in the offseason, which was Larry Nance, Dyson Daniels, draft pick, so on and so forth. I think the rumor was that Cleveland was more similar to Atlanta. Was they had their eyes set on Herb Jones, of course, and maybe that's where things broke down. But yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends. I mean, at this point, though, I think any trade the Pelicans make for a legitimate center, it almost feels like it has to include Brandon. I mean, unless you're talking Jordan Hawkins, spare parts, and including looping in a third team.
I just feel like y'all are kind of stuck in that spot where you have some good players, but are they good enough? You know what I mean? Brandon Ingram being one of them, CJ McCollum being one of them. Frankly, DeJounte Murray kind of maybe also being one of them. Like they're all good, and maybe having three of those types of players makes up and is enough for just having like one, right? So maybe the combination of them all with Zion, with the other pieces, Trey Murphy. I mean, I like Jordan Hawkins the way he can shoot. I think that helps as well. Maybe all that put together works, but I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like they're on a tier of player where it's like you're kind of stuck in the middle. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I've been scared of with the Rockets is like they don't have that guy. So are these players good enough? And last season they were 41-41. They were okay. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens this season. If Şengün can separate himself apart, if Jalen Green can hit that level, maybe they have. I think the difference with the Rockets is that even though they don't have enough high-end talent yet, they have pieces that fit. I'm not quite sure that the Pelicans pieces fit the way they need to make up for like the lack of just like top 5 talent, top 10 talent, aside from Zion, of course. And then it's tough because, like, I mean, you look in the West and, I forget every day, like, how crazy the West is, I mean, you could go 1 through, like, 9, 1 through 8, 1 through 10. I mean, even the Rockets, like, I put a video out saying, I think the Rockets will win 48 games. The Rockets might be, like, the 9 seed. You know what I mean? They could be, like, the Sixers. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. So
that was the Pelicans last year.
Right?
That's exactly what happened with the Pelicans last year. But
how many games did they win?
48.
And you were the 9 seed?
49. I'm sorry, 49.
49 9 seed?
Yeah.
Was it nah? Because they had
was it 8th?
It was either 8th or 7th because they played all the playing games at home.
By the way, so I looked up who this Jake guy is. That is also very funny. You guys are funny.
Roos, what are your thoughts on Ime Udoka and
Pelicans were 7? Oh, I think it's because y'all won the play-in, which got you up to 7. Maybe not. No, it has you at 7.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's fine. What are your thoughts on Ime, and how often do you see criticism from the fan base involving him? Do you have anything from last year or just anything period in regards to him as a coach that you're critical of?
So Ime Udoka totally changed our fortune. The Rockets were kind of down between Frank Vogel and Ime Udoka, and like they made the right choice by far. If they had hired Frank Vogel, I think the Rockets would be in trouble. Seriously. Ime Udoka has changed the culture. He has changed the perception of the Rockets. There's really, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Ime Udoka. The one thing is that Ime Udoka, he vetoed. The Rockets were trying to get James Harden. They were going to sign James Harden. I mean, that was the plan. They were going to do it. Ime Udoka was like, nah, Fred VanVleet. And a lot of people criticize him for that, but I think it's turned out to be the right move for a variety of reasons. But the criticism on Ime Udoka is that the offense was not imaginable or imaginative. It was not creative enough. It was just like kind of bland, simple. And it was just a lot of pick and roll. We just ran a lot of pick and roll. But I defend him on that because they weren't a good offense to begin with. Like, they didn't have the pieces to be that type of offense, mostly because, Jalen struggled. And so the approach was, it's kind of like a football team where you just run the ball and play solid defense and you manage the clock, you manage the game. They were a game management team, limit turnovers, which is what Fred did. Play solid defense, kind of limit possessions, because the more possessions that you have, the other team's probably going to outscore us. The more times we speed up and speed the game up, we're going to turn it over more and we're going to give up points going fast break the other way. So that was the criticism. That being said, this season, I want to see in year 2, I want to see things kind of shake up a little bit, right? So that would be the criticism. Another criticism is that he seems to have his favorites, like Aaron.
all this sounds familiar. Okay, yeah.
So it's funny, right? Because every fan base has the same problems, and you get to a point where you realize, like, oh, maybe just fans just complain a lot. Yeah, like Aaron Holiday, right? He loves Aaron Holiday, and Aaron Holiday played a lot, and people, he'd come in the game, and people would be like, why are we watching Aaron Holiday? So, I mean, just typical coach shit. But by far, bar none, one of the best coaches in the NBA. I still can't believe he picked Houston, given the options that he had.
Oh, I know why he picked Houston.
Why? Oh, for the women?
Yeah.
I can't blame him. I can't blame him.
I went to school in Houston. Huh? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just man, look, it's funny because now what someone said, we went from Steven Silas to Udoka. Do you know how much of an upgrade that is? And all I can think of is when we would watch it was a conversation amongst Pelican fans about how stressed out Steven Silas would look. Like he looked like he was taking cigarette breaks every time out. Like, he had a t-shirt on under his polo. Like, he was not in good shape. Stressed out. Great. Came in like it's like that Obama picture where, like, he was there with black, he left with like grays. It was bad, man. So
you got to be built for it, man. He's a nice guy, and like everyone, I hate it when media and fans, when they're trying to defend, and even players, when they're trying to defend a coach and they're like, he's such a good person, he's such a nice guy. It's like, well, I don't give a damn about how great of a person he is, right? Like, I mean, on that same token, a lot of fans were appalled that the Rockets would interview Ime Udoka because of what happened in Boston. And none of those people have that complaint now. So it's just, it's interesting how people change their mind. But with Silas, it was like, look, man, he's a nice guy. That's cool. That doesn't mean he should be a head coach, right? I think he was an assistant coach for 20-something years for a reason. And I think we saw what that reason was. At the end of the day, you put the X's and O's aside, because Steven Silas knows the X's and O's really well. A lot of what this comes down to with coaching is managing personalities and getting people to respect you, right? And if they don't respect you, or if they respect you, like they respected Steven Silas, but they didn't fear Steven Silas. They weren't like, looking up to Steven Silas. They were looking him eye to eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I talked to a few players on the team when Steven Silas was the coach. And they said this. I mean, they would tell me that. They'd be like, "Yo, he's a nice guy, man. Feel bad for him, but like he's not the one that's going to lead us there." And when that is the sentiment in a locker room, you're doomed. Period. You're doomed. And accountability. Yeah, he didn't hold anyone accountable. Different roster, obviously. When your team is led by Kevin Porter Jr., it's just like things are bad to begin with.
Man,
you know what I mean? But yeah, wish him the best. But I don't miss him as a head coach, unfortunately, not at all.
So look, man, I know you got a time limit, so I'm trying to get you out of here. We're gonna ask maybe like 3 more questions if that's cool with you. All right. So before we do that, let me just hit this commercial break because we gotta pay some bills real quick. Be right back.
Hey, I know you. You helped my cousin after her car accident. Ever since you won her case, she's been doing great.
Oh yeah, Melissa. She told me she had a cousin who works here.
What can I get for you?
How about a large hot coffee, please?
1 hot coffee for Mr. Scott Vicknair.
It's David.
Excuse me?
I'm David Vicknair, and this is my law partner, Brad Scott.
Hey.
Wait, So then which one of you is Scott McNair?
Scott McNair, injury attorneys, we fight for the win.
Shout out to the Vic Nail Law Firm, man. Her 504
That's
500
fire, right?
11
That's
11.
an awesome commercial.
Yeah,
That was
that's,
an
that's
awesome.
what we do, Roots. That's what we
Yeah,
do,
okay.
man.
That's an
Shout
awesome
out to
word.
shout out to 4D Energy. Shout out to Standard Mortgage. Shout out to
Sunshine, John Deere,
Yeah,
DraftKings,
man. DraftKings. Yeah. All of them. So before we get out of here, there's some questions in the chat, but I'm gonna go with this question.
Okay.
I think you said the Rockets will end up with 48 wins.
That's my prediction. Maybe I'll look like an idiot at the end of the season.
No, I mean it's cool. I mean we Pelicans fans. I can't it's hard to Chris, you said the Pelicans will get 50.
Yeah.
50. I think I said 42 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who go okay? Will the Rockets make the playoffs?
The playoffs or the play-in?
Playoffs.
Oh shit. I'm gonna say yeah because they have to. They've been talking about, hey, this is the rebuild. This is how we're gonna do it. 3 years, cap space, draft all these first round picks, and then boom, we're gonna get back in the playoffs. The owner talked about it. Tillman Fertitta, Ime Udoka talked about it at media day. So if they don't, I think they would consider it a failure. So I'm gonna say yes, they make the playoffs.
Same. Now, do you think the Pelicans will make the playoffs?
Respectfully, I don't think so. Let me see. Let me just take a quick look. Thunder, Nuggets, T-Wolves, although the T-Wolves might fall off for real. We'll see. I think the Clippers got weaker. Mavericks, I still believe in the Suns. That's 5. Rockets, Grizzlies will be back, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on the Kings. I don't know how DeMar fits necessarily, but I still have, I still like what they got going. I never count LeBron out. I say no, respectfully.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, you wouldn't be the only one. I mean, I could find enough people.
The other thing is, if Zion goes down, you're in trouble. And Zion, even if he goes down for like, I don't know, ankle sprain 3 weeks, like you're gonna lose some games, So.
Well, I mean,
I'm not giving you the Kings though. I can't give you the Kings. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
yeah,
I'm just happy that they're good again because I feel bad for that fan base.
I don't.
Huh? You don't?
I don't. I don't.
De'Aaron
I
Fox is a hell
didn't
of a
even know they
player.
had a fan base.
De'Aaron Fox is a hell of a player. But I mean, look, if the Pelicans made it over the Kings, I would not be surprised whatsoever. I'm not saying the Kings will make the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing. This is the West. Like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I'm looking at the standings, and it's like, yeah, you could tell me 10 of these teams will make the playoffs. Like Spurs won't, most likely. Hopefully not. God help us all if they do. Blazers, Jazz, no, none of those teams. Well, Jazz, no. But the Warriors, the Warriors lose Clay though. I don't know. I just there's so many what ifs. Okay, let's go through this again. Thunder, Nuggets, Wolves, Mavs, Suns. Okay, Grizzlies, Rockets.
Yeah.
All right, I'll change my answer. Yes, Pelicans. Because when I look at this, are the Warriors without Clay? Steph's older. Can he carry? Draymond's older. They didn't really do anything in the offseason to give me confidence in them. I don't count the Lakers out still. LeBron is still – I never count LeBron out.
Absolutely.
They're a playoff team.
Kings, I'll side with you. I'll take the Kings out. They're also just one bad injury away as well. I guess most teams are. Clippers, I've lost faith in the Clippers. I think the Suns will be better. Yeah. Oh yeah. They lost Paul George and they signed Kevin Porter Jr. Like, what the fuck are they thinking? So that's my answer.
Okay.
All right. Chris, you got anything else?
No. I did. Was that the last question?
That was the second one. If you got one more, then we could bid out. If not, it's cool.
Nah, man. Let Roos get out of here, man. I have your. If you guys didn't know, you can find him. You can find him on Twitter. Here, he's a host of Rockets Watch here, host and Rocket Talk podcast on HTX Chop Shop podcast for Ball is Life. Rec League World Champ. Do not sleep on that. Do not sleep on what it means to be a Rec League World Champ. When you talk to him, with some goddamn respect. He deserves it. And that, that's pretty much it, man. So, look, bro, we enjoyed having you on, man. Me and Lito probably gonna talk shit for a little bit here for about another 25 minutes. Try to figure out how Jabari Smith gets traded to the Pelicans anyway, and that'll be all. You muted.
You muted.
You muted, Rouge. Oh, now it's really over because we can't hear him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nah. It's okay.
It's cool.
The beat go off?
Nah.
And see now since he can't talk, we just gonna talk shit like okay.
How about, okay.
Brandon Ingram.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay, all right.
There you go.
I heard you. I changed my mic, so maybe the quality is different.
Cool.
Anyways, I was gonna say, as people said, as they pointed out, the way the Rockets drafted these players, Şengün and Jalen are due for extensions, and then the next season, Jabari and Tari are due for extensions, and then the next season, Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore would be due for extension. So can they keep all these players? Probably not. They might end up having to trade someone. Jabari Smith could be that player. Jalen Green could be that player. Who knows? So maybe one of them shakes loose. But I appreciate you guys having me. I enjoyed talking some Pelicans and some Rockets. I apologize for having to get out of here, but you already know how that goes.
Man. Bro. Hey, you welcome, bro. Pull back up on us.
Yeah. Let me know anytime. I'm always down. So just let me know. And shout out to all Pelicans fans. Thank you for treating me with a little bit of grace after I trashed Herb Jones a couple years ago. I apologize for that. But appreciate you guys. Later.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Bruce.
All
right, bro.
That was Roos Williams, guys. Now, all right, hold on. We need
gotta have some accountability.
That was a fire show, but now it is time to hold the show accountable, get a little cleansing involved here, a couple of videos. Y'all know what happened.
I thank the Lord. I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
All right. Accountability here brought to you by Scott Vignier, injury attorney. Hurt? Call 504-500-1111. Lito, what did you think about Roos? What did you think about some of the things? Did you write down anything? Was there anything to add? Anything we missed there?
No, I mean, I think the Rockets, for real, kind of like as incomplete as the Pels are, in a sense. Like, they don't have the guy. First of all, Roos is cool as hell. He's cool as hell. Cool. They don't have any. They don't have like a superstar.
Yep. They
got a lot of good players. I'm really a big fan of Şengün. I'm a big fan of Jabari. I'm a big fan of Jalen. I like I'm in, but like nobody.
What'd you say?
I'm in Thompson.
What'd you say before that?
I'm a big fan of I'm in.
Okay, keep going.
Nah, that's not. Ain't
no. I mean, no. When you said it the way when I seen him throw that ball.
This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, so look, I caught a couple of things that he said. Like he was. It's cool, and I'm glad that this was Lito's idea, guys. He wants to do more of these crossover pods.
Yeah, we're going to training camps.
Because you learn some of the things that people may have missed just by covering their own team. Like, I don't think he knows that Herb Jones shot 42% from three, but we do. So that was one of the things that was spoken about. And he seems to be maybe he wouldn't be the only one that's on the fence to if. I don't know if we asked him if Zion is among the elite.
I wanted to ask him where he had him ranked.
Yeah.
I wanted, but it's cool. I mean, we only had a look. We had the time.
Flight. Look. This is what we do when we don't explain shit. When people are outside of the understanding, it's really like it's the eyes. Like it was a few times. It was like, all right, Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but
we get a guess a little grace, man.
But look though, I do have something for you. You wanna stay live for about another 25 minutes, 20 minutes?
No matter, man. They got 56 people in here, man. So we appreciate y'all. We go. Whatever y'all got, man. If y'all got something in the chat, y'all want to hear us talk about too. Y'all want to talk about anything? Like, I'm sorry we ain't got the link where y'all could get on stage today, but
and I meant to show Roos this. It was actually really, really, really important to the show. And but I mean, I guess I'll just play it now. I need your thoughts. I need you to be serious.
It's about to be some bullshit.
Bro, when have I like been wrong?
What you mean when?
When have I been wrong? Every time I show something like serious, bro. You don't give me benefit of the doubt.
Anything, huh? No,
give me benefit of the doubt.
Just play your bullshit. Just play it.
That's those niggas.
I hate that brother so much, and I can't explain why. But I just don't. I don't like him. He got a wild, punchable face.
You don't have any thoughts outside of that?
Besides that, he got a punchable. No.
You.
What do you find this clip like? Why do you? How do you like? Are you on the notifications list for your boy JP? Like, is that? How do you find this?
That's kind of when I seen him throw that ball.
That man had a crop top on, man. He had a crop top. He had a crop top Raiders jersey on, man. I'm not.
Son, but what about like what about the dances? I know you like,
No, I didn't look at him. No, I didn't look at him dance. Nah,
not a fan at all.
No, I wasn't interested in seeing that man gyrate. I'm good. I'm good.
Being racial chat room showing feet.
Showing feet. Nah, I'm good. Oh wait, hold on. For Lauren got something, man.
For Lauren, what's up, baby?
What's up for Lauren? So a question was asked on our spaces yesterday. Is there a guy we aren't really talking about going to the season? For Lauren, I was in spaces yesterday and I did hear this question and I did hear your answer. It's tough because like with the Pelicans, you see so much emphasis put on role players already. Like role players already be having to play above their means for this team to succeed, which is crazy. Like, you know, me and Chris did a show about JRE, which is like, why the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like thinking back on this.
JRE watching this. What do you say fuck me for?
JRE, you know what I'm saying? Like, with all due respect, it's like
you JRE.
No, dog. Like, I want it to be all about the superstar on the team or the best players on the team. Like, I want that to be who we talked about. I would like for there to be a way where Jordan Hawkins changes my mind that he's gonna get traded and or get minutes. I would love for him to do that. But that's a good question. What you think?
I think it gotta be. I mean, JRE was a random thought, but it's probably Jordan Hawkins, bro. I think he's become like an afterthought, adding another guard, signing Jose into an extension, even signing Javonte Green. While Javonte's more of a power forward stuck in a guard's body, like, I mean, that's another obstacle possibly for him to have to overcome. And they're guard / wing heavy. So he hasn't been someone I think people have really talked about a lot. He didn't have that great of a summer league. It was kind of underwhelming, but that doesn't necessarily, I don't think that's an attack on his strengths. So, some like I know when we talk privately, the question is like, should he be involved in trades? Like, has he already been kind of sabotaged? Is he should we even think that he's going to have an opportunity to be on the floor? And what exactly does that mean for how long? But he only because of how Jordan Hawkins is why do I believe that he's someone that we probably aren't talking about, because you've said it a lot and you're not the only one, that I won't allow any circumstance to define Jordan Hawkins' future because I believe he's insane enough going into year 2 now, or even last year. I think he's insane enough to believe that he should be on the floor against anybody. And I think he's going to find a way out there on the floor. I don't know in what capacity, but I wouldn't be even against Willie Green, even against like having to deal with the defensive coach, a stubborn coach at times. I think Jordan's going to find a way to surprise some folks. We talking about rebounding. Maybe he becomes a better defender. And we know the shooting going to be there.
Bro, how you feel about this? All right, so let's see. Huh? What happened? You good?
Go ahead.
What's going on?
Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
You lucky they don't have none of the foolishness in this room, in this video section. You lucky I can't get my shit off.
Well, because why?
Huh?
Remember how my daddy used to cut that cane? Now my hands up in stacks and things. I'm from the hood.
Oh,
I carry one too.
That's kind of crazy. I don't know if you understood how crazy that was, but
excuse me?
You don't think that was insane? You don't think that was like not only insane but unnecessary? Like there was no better way you could have phrased that?
That's crazy that you took that to Diddy City for no reason.
I carry one You
ain't never seen that video? The Eagles fan, he like, I carry one too. You took that to
Whoa.
You took that to Diddy City for no reason.
Rachel, what's happening, baby? What's
everything all right?
Are you
it's 11.
Good? Are you good at home?
Why? What?
BI know what's up. All right, man. I started some questions. Let's see.
Shout out to Rachel. Is for this next comment is brought to you by Fourth Dimension.
That's crazy. Rachel just took this show. Rachel trying to take this show to a whole nother level. Like
Rachel got horny for no reason. No.
Yo, Rach, go take an ice bath. Go take an ice bath, Rach. Come back tomorrow.
Yo.
Rachel need a sub-zero shower right now. Like,
what the fuck is happening, dog?
I don't know. This show should have ended.
Man.
This should have ended a long time ago. Shout out to Rachel, man. We fuck with you. We just
shout out to Rachel, man. For real. We fuck with you.
Man, they got some questions in here. Let's see what they got. Having Ingram actually playing off the ball coming off a screen is going to be beautiful. Ashton, I'd like to see it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like to see movement in the offense. I think that would be good if you got Brandon moving in space, just getting to his shot and not having to think.
Flight Mizar said, bro, just showed us a Hispanic.
Who is that?
Oh, when you
I wish I could tell y'all that. The story behind that photograph. But
oh man, off the rails, man. The show. Okay, here we go. Here's another great question by Falor. Back to basketball. Come on, Lito.
I literally just asked you a BI screen question that you just told me.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I forgot you. That's great, dog. Look, I mean, he said that a point guard was going to be very important for him. None of that matters to me if he's ignoring or being stubborn about shooting threes. If y'all didn't hear, that's what we gotta talk about.
Hold on, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like that's low-hanging fruit, though. Like, I'm starting to feel like, because when you say that, right, I think you giving him an out in his game when really like holistically his lack of urgency and lack of getting to the rim, I feel like was more of a problem.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, there are too many ways out, too many opt-outs, or too many excuses for somebody who's looking to get paid $50 million a year. So regardless of what people believe that Brandon needs to do, I just want the brother to figure it out. Whether that means it's gonna help him to come off screens more, it helps him be off ball, whatever the fuck it means, I want him to figure it out. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
I will say self-awareness is something that you gotta know what's going on in your life. Like you gotta just be self-aware of certain things before you answer certain questions. And if y'all seen the video with him and DeJounte, then you know what we talking
Because
about.
why he do that? Why he say that? He say, fuck. He was up there with DeJounte, and I think it was the Shazer that asked him about him being more of a shooting threat, and he said, yeah, it's been something I've been working on. It's always been something I've been working on. I just don't do it because what do you say? Like the middies are just easy.
Yeah.
Like what? Why would you say that, BI? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Because now it goes back to the harshest critics of you would say is that you don't listen and you don't care, but and you are extremely stubborn because everybody's been telling him to shoot more three. He's just like, no, I'm just gonna take this midi right here. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, shout out to Florence.
Because the midi looked good, and then somebody else in the press said, yeah, it do look good. Why y'all say what? Why we doing that, man?
I seen DeJounte looked at him though, kind of like, nah, I'm gonna make like, you need a point guard, right? You need a point guard. I'm gonna be the reason that you shoot the ball in, and I'm gonna be the reason why you shoot the threes.
Hold on, let me pull that video up real quick because I got it. I got the files. Yeah, man, he it's just like, dog. Like if I'm his agent, I call him like, bro, what you doing, man? You should be on like a 3-point shooting promo tour right now. You know what I'm saying?
I would tell him not even to answer that question. Like, just plead the fifth on it. Just show me. I'd rather you just come in the season and just show us. Like, just show us you're gonna shoot the ball.
Yeah, man. Like, but don't basically just like admit to everybody that's watching that you ignore everybody's request around you to shoot more threes because of how attractive a mid-range shot looks.
Yeah, that's what everybody been telling me. Like,
yeah, what?
Huh?
Dog, you trying to get paid? Why would you?
They couldn't. Say y'all. Let me ask y'all a question.
Couldn't get me to admit that.
So look, as I stated before, man, me and Chris, we about to go on this training camp podcast tour. What team or what is there a podcast that you want us to talk to next? Like anybody you want us to tap in with? Like put it in the comments, or if you're watching this video, leave a YouTube comment. But yeah, my bad, Chris. Go ahead.
Nah, this BI shit loading. Give me a second.
You good? Well, while that's loading, I'm gonna get another question out.
Becoming more of a 3-point threat for this team.
Yeah, that's something that I thought about over the summer. Something that I've been thinking about. I've worked on it, but it's something that I always have. I just don't do it because the mid-range look good. I know it's important. I know it
looks real good, huh?
Yeah, good. But I know it's important.
Say, look, I'm gonna say this.
It looks real good, huh?
Excuse me?
That's what he said.
Yeah, but you had to he didn't say it like that.
Oh, he definitely said it like that.
Heard? Say, has Brandon Ingram always talked like that? Like has he always been so dead inside?
Yes. Yeah, I mean he's been less dead and other. It's like the Undertaker. It's like he's always been dead, but there were years where he was less dead, but he's still dead.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know.
You know, don't worry about it. I got you. Hold on. Here you go.
Becoming more of a three-point threat for this team.
Yeah, it's something that I thought about over the summer. It's something that I've been thinking about. You know, I've worked on it, but it's something that I always have. I just don't do it because, you know, the mid-range look good. You know, I know it's important. I know it
looks real good, huh?
Yeah, good. But I know it's important.
I know it's important. I know
it looks real good, huh?
You don't have to. We got out of that.
He said that. He said that, and B.I. agreed.
Hey, y'all crazy. This chat crazy. Ashton, I'm not gonna put that on the screen, but that's crazy.
I just want to know why he had to say it like a caveman. Mid-range look good. Why are we talking like that, bro? Like, yeah. He go right here. Mid-range look good.
Like he's starting fire with his knuckles.
Oh yeah, it do look good. What? Look good, don't it?
Wait. What Bryson said yesterday? DeJounte's hands go to his ankles.
This is the yeah. This why Rachel acting the way she acted in the chat.
Oh, my fault.
You said shit like that.
You Bryson said that. I ain't say that. Bryson said that. I ain't.
But you didn't have to bring it back up.
You just did a whole Brandon Ingram segment about how. That's crazy. All right. That's crazy. Man, what else I got, man? How much time you got left, Christopher?
I'm here, dog.
So Charles Sparrow wants to know if the Pels let JV go because of spacing. Why do Pels fans want Jarrett Allen? I know he gives you rim protection, but I think JV is better in the paint and can make the occasional three. Jarrett Allen is a better player than Jonas Valanciunas. Charles, he if you watch that second half of last year when he was able to operate actually more in the paint and shoot mid-range jumpers, and Spider was out and my other dog Evan Mobley was out. Like you showed Jared got to show he expanded his game. I mean, he a better player than JV. So better players on your team is always gonna make your team better.
Rim protection, but I could also see the argument that history shows that Jarrett Allen, you run into similar issues eventually if you get to the playoffs. With Jarrett Allen, to where teams just say, okay, he gonna be in drop the entire game. We'll live, and we're gonna force you to go to small lineups anyway. But it would help this team to at least have that option. They don't have that option right now. I don't even know all the time, Charles, if it's about Jonas or Jared or whoever. It's just about when you choose to bring in that person, what matchups do you choose to exploit? It's the management of them that I would be more concerned of. Like Larry Nance would, I would look out there, they'd be playing an actual center, playing in B. Larry Nance came on the spaces and said, I mean, I'm not going to be out there guarding Jarrett Allen and Joel Embiid. I'm not going to be, and I'm watching them guard.
And Willie Green said,
not on my watch. Yes, you will be. So, just do the shit that makes sense. Like if they real, and one of the things I think Griff and Willie said that the lineups are going to be interchangeable depending on matchup. Let's see it. Let them do it.
That's crazy. Let them do it.
Let them do it. I'll be ready. Because that's what the game should be about, Lito.
I agree with you. Shout out to Be Supreme 2000, man. What's up, fellas? Just getting in here. Did y'all hear Willie Green's post practice where he said Murray has a lot of options to pass? Even Trey coming off the bench seems like the lineup is a wrap. Yeah, Be Supreme. I think we knew the moment they signed Daniel Tice that the lineup was a wrap for real. I ain't gonna lie. Look, Chris will tell you I was against the small ball lineup. Like I didn't mind Zion starting at center, but getting like just a ton of minutes there, I wasn't like thrilled with. But after talking to him, talking to Brett, I'm kind of like more in line with it now, to be honest. Like, and I'm really like kind of disappointed in the lack of creativity and not trying it. Like Give it a shot. Like, what do you have to fucking lose? Like, Roosh just told you Tice was on the Rockets and he was trash. He couldn't spread the floor. He's 6'8". He can't really defend centers. Like, what do you have to lose?
Years ago. So Herb was probably one of the interviews that we should have watched because he said that if you focus and you're able to keep people out the lane, you don't have to worry about rim protection as much. So it seems like, I mean, he's fine with it. He understands the approach that you got to have to, when you're lacking that option. And it would be nothing new. They ain't had a rim protector in the 5-6 years that, that this new regime has been here. Yes, Eric. Pray for the Helene victims. 100%.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Bad out there, dog. We know what that's like.
We wishing thoughts and we wishing prayers to all the family, anybody who lost some. Everybody in this area we used to lost in this magnitude, and I'm not sure. Man, I'm looking at like a mountain flood. Like I ain't never in my life seen that. You know what I'm saying? So
crazy.
Thoughts and prayers to them. And matter of fact, if y'all have a family, if there's any way we could support, like please,
for sure, man. Drop the link.
Let us know how we can help. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, back. Huh?
Thoughts?
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not. No.
What about this one?
Ashton, what? Ashton, come on, dog. See, I'm gonna say this. You're a bad person because you tried to ensue an Ime Udoka Willie Green conversation. You're not a good person. I saw what you were trying to do.
But what's like?
Rachel, you do you know what you said?
She got a point. I mean, she got a point.
That's not what's on the screen is not the equivalent of what she said.
What did she say?
I'm not going to repeat what she said. Maybe she can retype it.
We trying to problem solve right now. You want to tell me what she said?
I can't. That problem is above me.
Okay. We got a Knicks fan in here that says, well, this isn't. I mean, I'm gonna read it the way that it's spelled, even though I know it. Edney, Chet, and Wemby, and y'all talk about Zion at the 5?
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah,
we are.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you this, Knicks 100.
A GM or a game? It's probably
that's why I stopped.
A game.
That's why I stopped because I ain't really know. But look, this is the thing, Knicks. Check this out.
Layla.
Knicks. The question is this: Okay, Daniel Tice, Carlo, Eves, Missy. Who is going to stop any of those people you named? Like nobody, no center on our team is going to stop anybody that you name.
Look like, at
is that what I'm saying? Like, what they supposed to do? Like, we have who you have. You might as well be creative with what you have and look for a mismatch at some point. Because at the end of the day, like Edie, Wemby, and whoever else you name, Chet, they gonna have to guard him too. So you might as well like take advantage of what you have on the other side of basketball.
I want to know why he's yelling.
He from New York. From New York. He probably yelling over a subway train right now. Like he probably standing in line, chopped cheese.
For sure. Shout out to chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese. That shit good, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Shit, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man. Again, drop the link. Drop the link if you have any family or anybody in a situation from Hurricane Helene that needs help. That if we whatever we could do, point them in the right direction or monetarily. And if y'all got another team y'all want us to do a cross pod with, like let us know what team that is. Like, subscribe, comment. Shout out to 4D. Shout out all the sponsors: John Deere, DraftKings, Standard Mortgage, Dios. Fried Chicken Fest this weekend. Yeah, check this out. You know who gonna be the judge?
You 5, right? You and Five, huh?
Me and Five gonna be the judge at Fried Chicken Fest. Pull up on us, man.
Man, bro, it's gonna be a great time. We ain't did this in a while. I mean, we might as well end it like this.
Yeah.
Audio Jungle.
That wasn't a mistake.
Audio Junkie.
That wasn't a mistake. You played the crop top man on purpose.
Audio.
That man got a crop top San Francisco jersey on.
Bro, get with the times, bro. It's not for me, but that's that's what he feel comfortable in.
You got a crop top hoodie on? Is that what you said?
I just said it's not for me, you nasty man. I just
Hey bro,
I'm about to throw you. Listen,
if you podding with me with a crop top hoodie on, I'm gonna lose my mind, dog.
Say, bro, you ain't no better than Rachel right now. I promise you now. That's nasty. That's nasty. I told you no already. I said no.
Hey dog, a crop top camo hoodie. A crop top camo hoodie is insane.
But look though, you let Zeke Elliott do it for years and you ain't say nothing.
I ain't have
drafted him
nothing
on
to
your
do that.
fantasy team.
Nah, that man got a meme of him like eating cereal out of bowl, doing that shit. Like I don't have time. That's not for me. I let go and I let God.
Are you going? Oh, okay. You know what? It's my fault. Let's try this again. Let's try this again.
Audio Jungle.
Man, to be honest, I don't even got nothing to talk to y'all about. Oh, the Saints suck again. They terrible. Homer Q. I'm not apologizing. You might owe me an apology. I was almost with you. And then your man showed his true colors, man. Your man. People talking about trade for Devontae Adams. Who the fuck is going to throw him the football? Who is going to throw Devontae Adams the football? Taysom Hill? Jake Hayner? Like, come on, man. I don't know, man. Anyways, what you got, dog? You got something? You want to end the show with?
Nah, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Look,
it's 58 people here.
Yeah, shout out to all 50 plus of y'all that was in here, man. Shout out to Roos for pulling up, man. Shout out to Crop Top Hoodies, and we'll holler at y'all next time.
No.
Peace.
No.